The Fresno County Sheriff's Office will not be out enforcing this limited closure order. We're not going to be doing that. I haven't seen any data, for instance, that shows that between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. that is things happen that cause a big spread of COVID. Not only that, from the very beginning, we have not enforced these orders. We are not going to make criminals out of normally law-abiding citizens. We've got a lot of things to do, including taking guns away from gang members, stopping narcotic trafficking, and saving children from internet predators. A lot of things to do rather than enforce whether or not a normally law-abiding business is violating this kind of order. Not only are we not going to be checking businesses to see if they're complying with these orders, but we aren't going to be having checkpoints or making vehicle stops to see if people are really out carrying on some kind of essential function. We're not going to be involved in that. That time of night, we start getting involved with catching vehicle burglars, commercial burglars, stolen vehicles. That's a busy time of night for us for real criminal activity. And I believe that's what our communities and our citizens want us to be focusing on. You know, we're just coming off of a time when we have groups of people talking about over-policing. This is a good example. Is this something our citizens and our community wants local law enforcement to be involved in enforcing? I don't believe it is. It's certainly not a priority for me as sheriff when I see every single day the very serious crime issues that we're responding to. This is just something, again, that we're from the very beginning of asked. Voluntary compliance. I think that's where we make the most difference. And from everything I'm hearing about how COVID spreads, it's gatherings, people, getting together in like family groups. So why this happens to be a priority at this particular time, I'm not sure. State Office of Emergency Services had a conference call with sheriffs in the state, as well as police chiefs in the state. And there were a lot of concerns and questions asked. And this is the way it was described to us, is that the closure order, limited closure, would take effect Saturday between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. For non-essential services. So, and there were a lot of questions about what's essential, what's not. And the way it was described to us is, for instance, if somebody has to go out and get a gallon of milk, that's pretty essential. And so the question was asked to OES, from sheriffs, what were the governor's expectations from local law enforcement? And the answer was he didn't have any expectations from local law enforcement. I asked the question if they were going to send out strike teams as they did before. And the answer was they didn't think so. So we were not directly asked by the governor's office to enforce this. And I don't know of anyone on that call that had a big desire to be involved in enforcing this. So we're pretty much of the same mind. And I won't speak for all law enforcement agencies, but I suspect that we're all going to be on the same page. We've got our hands full with real crime issues. And this is not a law enforcement issue.